Heart of Gold, written by Switch Diablo, read by Switch Diablo. It was an early spring at the Wonderbolt Academy, and the team had just finished their daily training. Sora went to the dressing room, and when he was done, he stood outside to wait for Rainbow Dash. Hey Rainbow, do you have any plans for the afternoon? No, I don't have any plans, said Rainbow. How about we get something to eat, since training has made me hungry? Of course, we can do that since I'm quite hungry myself. Both left the academy and flew to Cloudsdale to grab something to eat at a cafe there. Soren and Rainbow have been together now for about 2 years since when Rainbow joined the Wonderbolts. It took Soren a while to ask Rainbow out, but he was glad she said yes. Their relationship didn't become official after like 3 months of dating, and Rainbow has told Soren that he is the nicest and most romantic pony she ever had met. What shall we order? Asked Soren. How about a milkshake? I know you like them. You know me so well, but sure, we can do that. While they were waiting for the order, I can't wait for the show in Baltimore in 3 weeks. It's gonna be exciting, the first show since the winter ended. Yeah, I have been looking forward to the training again, said Rainbow. Let me guess, your wings were stiff to do not been exercising? That's right. Rainbow looked at Soren with a smile as soon as the order came. Soren looked out of the window and saw Pegasus flying past or walking past the cafe, and Rainbow saw it and looked at him. Is something wrong, Soren? No, nothing is wrong. I'm just looking at since it's a nice afternoon. It's Belize. Both of them sit and enjoy their milkshakes and later return to the academy to take it easy. They were in Soren's room to play some cards until the evening. Thanks for today, Soren. It's my pleasure, sweetie. Soren gave Rainbow a kiss on the cheek as she blushed and she went to her room. That night, Soren lies in his bed looking at the ceiling before falling asleep. He laying in there and thinking about Rainbow, how lucky he has to have her in his life. But there's something that he thought about her. Hearts and Hoops Day is in a week. I'm wondering if I should do it. But I will probably ask for advice. And then he fell asleep after that. The next morning, as the team were training, Soren was thinking about how to ask for advice, but when he heard a voice below him, Soren, focus on the training. Sorry, Spitfire, I will focus better. After training was over, Rainbow had chosen to continue training, and in the meantime, Soren had left the locker room and went to Spitfire's office. He knocked on the door. Come in. Soren walked in, and Spitfire was a little surprised to see him. Soren, something wrong? No, everything is fine. I just came to ask for advice. He closed the door behind him and sat down at her desk. What can I do for you? You know me and Rainbow have been together for 2 years? Yes, I know that you've been together for 2 years. I want your advice at one thing. What can I help you with? Said Spitfire. Soren looked a little bit nervous, but he took a deep breath and looked straight at Rainbow, the Spitfire. I'm planning to ask Rainbow to marry me on Hearts Hoops Day this year. Spitfire looked shocked, with big wide eyes, and then changed to a smile. I didn't expect you to do so, but I'm so proud of you, Soren, said Spitfire. Thanks. I just don't know how to do it. It's a good thing you came to me because I can try to give you some opinions. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Soren feels a relief in his heart that Spitfire had chosen to help him. I could suggest a picnic at a meadow on a sunny day. It sounds like a good idea. I'll probably do it. Maybe you should bring some of Rainbow's favorite sweets to the picnic. I'm sure I can think I can do that. Thanks, Spitfire. It's my pleasure. If you need any more advice, feel back to stop by. Thanks, I will. Soren left Spitfire's office and went to his room and lay on his bed, thinking about what Spitfire suggested to him. He agreed with her that it would have been a great idea, but since Hardenhood's day is in a week away, that would give him enough time to get her the ring. But then he set up. I almost forgot. I even have forgot it to her. Soren knew that the team had a day off and that Rainbow would be with her family, so it gave him a chance to go to Manhattan to get Rainbow an engagement ring. He decided to leave Academy early the next morning. The next day, Soren went to the Academy and he met Rainbow, who was on her way to visit her parents. Hey, sweetie, are you on your way home? Yes, I'm on my home to see. What are you going to do today? I'm probably going to visit a friend in Manhattan. Hope you have fun there. Same. He gave her a kiss and she flew home. Soren took the opportunity to fly down to the nearest train station and bought a ticket. While he was sitting on the train, he looked out and thought how things will go as planned. Because he knows sometimes that things doesn't go according to plan. But when the train arrived in Manhattan, he got off. Excuse me, do you know where the nearest jeweler store is? Soren asked a pony at the station. Yes. You walk down the main street until you see a park, then you will see one. Thanks for your help. Soren left the station and set off after following instructions the pony gave him. Before long, he saw the jeweler's shop. Finally, now I will see if I could find a good ring for her here. He stepped in and saw everything possible inside. Welcome to my shop. What can I do to defer the service? Hi, I'm looking for a good engagement ring. If you have any good choices. We really have. Come with me. I will show you some good ones. The owner took Soren to another stand and then he put a tray with some rings on it. These are the best we have in the store. Everything looks beautiful, but I want the best for my girlfriend. Soren looks at the rings carefully and after looking a while, he chose a ring. How much for this ring? We have made an excellent choice. This ring costs only 910 bits. Oh, that's the price for the ring, but it's not too expensive. I will take the ring. Excellent choice, sir. Let me wrap it in and you can take it home. Thank you very much. The owner wrapped the ring and Soren paid for it, and he was overjoyed that he had succeeded to get the ring and chosen to go home soon as possible. He went back to the station to wait for the next train home. While he was waiting, some ponies walked up to him and asked to get his autograph, which he gave them. He felt happy to make some ponies happy, and he knows Rainbow will be happy when she sees the ring. A little later, the train arrived to the station and he felt happy to come home again. Later, after Soren had returned to the academy, he went to his room. Hope she liked this one. He put the ring in a box so no pony would find it, since it was early in the afternoon. Soren decided to go out and get something to eat. On the way, he met Spitfire and she smelled him. Hey, Soren, you seem happy today. Well, I'm quite happy today. He whispered to her about that he had bought Rainbow an engagement ring. Oh, but she will like it. I think so. Would you like to go get something to eat? Of course, I was heading to Clarksdale for that anyway. I can give you company. Sure, you can. Both flew to the Clarksdale's cafe and both chose a sandwich to eat. How did the plan go? Well, it went well, although it cost me 910 bits, but Spitfire looks at him astonishment. It costs so much, but it's worth it if you ask me. Yes, it is worth it indeed. Hope you that she likes it. Yeah, she will, said Soren. Spitfire smiled at him and he had chose a pie as dessert after finishing eating their sandwich. Afterwards, they chose to leave the cafe. I'm going back to the academy to take care of some paperwork. I'll probably go back to my room and relax the rest of the day, said Soren. I'll see you tomorrow for training. Will do. They both flew back to the academy, and while Soren went back to his room, he chose to read Daring Do. It happens that he read Daring Do in his room or with Rainbow in her room, which Soren likes since it's a good feeling. The next day, after training, the team had their training, Soren was quite nervous after he approached Rainbow. Rainbow, do you have time, maybe, to go get something to eat? Of course I have time for that. Good, I will wait you by the entrance. Rainbow nodded and Soren left the locker room and waited for Rainbow at the entrance of the academy. And soon she appeared and both flew to the cafe where they had in Cloudsdale. What should we order? How about sandwich? Sounds like a good idea, said Soren. They chose some sandwiches and they waited and Soren chose to ask her something. Rainbow, I want to ask you something. What is it, Soren? Heart and Hooves Day are here soon and I was wondering if you might want to go out on a picnic to celebrate it with me. Of course I want. Good. I want to ask you to be sure. Rainbow smiled at him, and soon the orders arrived. They both sat down and enjoying themselves, and Soren felt glad that he asked her out. The following days, the team practiced as usual, and Soren hung out with Rainbow afterwards. They often went to his room to read Daring Do. While they were reading, they usually get hungry, but Soren told her that he could go to the cafeteria and get something to eat. Rainbow thought it was a good idea, and he returned to his room with a couple of sandwiches, and they continued to read together. Soon, Heart and Hooves Day was only a couple of days away. Soren felt more nervous now than before. Spitfire saw it, and while she was in her office while he was walked by, Soren, can you come in here for a while? Okay. Soren stepped in her office, closed the door behind them, and sat down. What can I help you with, Spitfire? It's nothing, but you seem a little nervous and in second thoughts. Well, I'm just thinking about what will happen in a couple of days. I can understand that, Soren, but you had to try to keep it calm. It will be fine. I hope so. You should listen to your team leader. Always take a deep breath and think about how happy she makes you. Soren listened and understood that Spitfire had a point and chose to follow her advice. Thanks, I will keep it in mind and follow your advice. Well, remember, if there's anything you want to talk about, I'm here for you. Thanks, Spitfire. Appreciate it. Soren went to his room and lay down on the bed, remembering Spitfire's advice to try to stay calm. But he understood that he was ready to ask Rainbow. The rest of the day he took it easy and thinks about Rainbow and everything hopes that it will go according to the plans. He even imagines the different scenarios of how things could go. He already knew deep in his heart how things will turn out. A couple of days later, it was Heart and Hooves Day. Soren was now extra nervous, but at the same time ready for it. He stood by the entrance waiting for Rainbow with a picnic basket filled with sandwiches, apple pie, apple cider, and Rainbow's favorite chocolate chip cookies. Soon she appeared with a smile. Are you ready to go? I'm 20% ready for this date. Good, let's go. I have picked a good spot. Rainbow smiled at them and they both left the academy. They flew for a while to the place that Soren had chosen for the picnic. And all the way he felt so nervous, but he tried to stay calm. This taking frequent deep breaths as Spitfire told him to do. At the site, they had a good view of the meadow with in a forest in the distance, and choose an open field to hide a blanket on. This is a good spot for picnic, it really is, said Soren. They sat down and Soren taking things out of the basket and Rainbow's eyes widened when she saw her favorite cookies. You brought my favorite cookies? Of course I did. Rainbow smiled and gave him a kiss on the cheek. Both started enjoying the picnic and having a good time. This is a quiet place and you can hear the birds singing. Sometimes before I came here, I understand you like this place. Sora hands down, and I should bring my Daring Dude to read. Too bad I didn't bring mine so we could read it. Sora then took out something from the basket and handed it over to the Rainbow. You mean this book? Soren held out the same book that they were both reading at the time. You brought your own book? Of course I brought my own. Rainbow smiled at him and they chose to read it after finishing the picnic. After they finished eating, Rainbow leaned against Soren, who started reading the book for her. She closed her eyes and listened carefully as Soren read to her. He reads at least 2 chapters from the book until they both choose to just lie on the blanket and to watch the clouds together. That cloud looks like a carrot. It really does. I find it peaceful to look at the clouds sometimes, said the Rainbow. It makes you feel calm. Yeah, the best part of it, I agree with you. That cloud looks like a heart. Rainbow looks around at the sky and saw the cloud. Yeah, it sure does. Can you close your eyes for a moment? Okay, then why? I am surprised. Oh, yeah, I can close my eyes. Rainbow remained on the blanket, closing her eyes as Sora went to the basket and took out a box with the ring in it. He walked over to her, knelt down, and opened the box. You can watch now. Rainbow opened her eyes and turned around to see Soren, and she immediately sat up and saw the ring. Rainbow, ever since you started the Wonderbolts, I have thought you were the most beautiful Pegasus I had ever seen. When we first started dating 2 years ago, I knew right then you were the pony I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, and to form a family with one day. Rainbow Dash, will you marry me? There was a silence for a moment, and Soren could hear his heart pounding faster in his chest. He looked at Rainbow, who looked at him with wide eyes and started crying. She smiled at him. Soren, of course I want to marry you. I was a little bit nervous that you want to say you didn't want to. Of course I want to be, because you're the most incredible stallion I ever met. Sure, you can be a bit clumsy, but that is the best thing I like about you. Thank you so much. Soren felt so relieved that Rainbow had said yes to his question. If she wanted to marry him, they used to have to stay on the meadow for a little bit longer to watch the clouds together. Later in the afternoon, they chose to return back to the academy. Upon returning, they met the others who was out eating as the day when they told them about the engagement. They were also surprised, except for Spitfire, who already knew about it. Spitfire said, "It was nice to hear, Rainbow. You really fit together. We will all come to the wedding. Thanks, Spitfire. We both appreciate it." Within the next few days, both families had found out about the news and so overjoyed, especially Rainbow's parents. Her friends back in Ponyville were so excited for her. Especially Pinky, who celebrated with a big party, which Rainbow didn't mind. Both Soren and Rainbow chose to get married in the summer. During the summer, they held a wedding in Ponyville, and Twilight performed the ceremony and that Rarity had made the dress and tuxedo for Soren. Soren had asked Firestrike to be his best man, and Spitfire was asked to be Rainbow's maid in honor. Every pony could see how, after the ceremony, how happy Rainbow and Soren were together. And both Soren and Rainbow were happy together to be married, and now open a new chapter together. Rainbow will never forget the day when how Soren asked her the big question. She will always love him so deeply. Even Soren couldn't have chosen a better day, a better way to ask Rainbow the big question, especially on Heart and Hoops Day. The end. The end.